Hello, Nick.
Hello, David. How are you doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
Well, I'm not completely frozen, so that's good.
Finally, for once, we live on the right side of the country.
I thought we were on the left side.
Depends how you look at the map. Are you facing it or are you pointing away?
I guess we'd be on the right side for Russia.
No. Uh, yeah, good old polar vortex is over, what, 2
Most,
hours to the east? Oof.
yeah,
Burr.
yeah,
Usually that's us, so have fun, everybody.
yeah. Cheers. But that's okay. I'd rather be not so frozen. So that's just me.
Oh, there's a song about that and a whole movie. Don't you want to
I
build a
think I
snowman?
I think we should let it go.
Ooh. Fine.
We should maybe let's start off by thanking people. Maybe.
There's nobody to thank, literally.
Okay. Well,
You can,
thanks everyone who normally supports us on Patreon.
if you're here, we thank you. If you're not here, where are you? Right?
Maybe they're without power.
In the States too?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there was some parts of Maine and Minnesota and stuff that was having stuff. Yeah. But
Weird. All I see is
odd.
rate hikes, so that sounds fun for them.
Yeah.
Ah, welcome, welcome.
So there was a little bit of news. Nothing on slicers, no news updates on slicers or anything significant. There's a ton of Kira betas or
Good,
alphas
we're not
or
a news channel, so that's a good
so.
thing that there's no news.
Yeah, so there's nothing there. So, but
The
I did
room is
find a few.
empty.
I did find a few talking points and stuff. Which one would you like to start with, David?
You put them in order.
Well, that's not the order's not in stone.
Just go in order till we hate it.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So there is a company that has come up with a new. It's a web service uh, slash app um, to do lithophanes, but in bulb form. So you can create either like a globe to go over an LED, or you can make a Christmas bauble kind of thing. Um, and so I have, if you want to maybe go to the screen share, I could show you. So this is kind of the interface to their software. You can change the diameter, the angle and whatnot, and then have your lithophane stretched over the sphere. So I mean those remember those moons were very popular. I think they even had a few Mars ones where they would do the cartography of the
Mm,
moon on a sphere, and you could 3D print it and light it up. This is kind of just more of a throw your own picture in, so you can take any picture, like they have a picture here, and then add text and whatnot, and then have it wrap around the
yeah.
bulb. So I thought this was kind of neat um take on lithophanes, because I've always found lithophanes pretty cool to do. I think you've done a few in the past, kind of thing. That's a
Um,
really crappy example that they're showing. it
yeah,
doesn't
I was
really
like,
it doesn't really show you much.
you can, at the very bottom of your article, there's a link to the actual thing. It says
Boop, boop,
visit,
boop, boop,
but like
boop.
they use terrible. It's a little bit better. Yeah, there, litho bulb. And it shows the
Yeah, that one's a
little.
little bit better.
Uh, I'm kind of torn on this. Like, Um, ooh, watching on Ubuntu. Is that still a live CD, Dominic, or did you pull the trigger? Um, I was just trying to find it because Maker, so they didn't call it the same thing, but MakerLab had
Yeah,
a
I thought
thing
they
where
had
you could
something
make
similar.
exactly the same thing. Pretty sure. Okay, here's their lithophane generator. Um, New project, I guess. No, all of those are flat right now. They did, well, like if we were to, hold on, either I'm gonna incept some stuff or change to my screen. I don't know which.
You can switch.
Let's see.
There's no...
Oh, look, I did it. Nailed it.
Good job.
Hey.
Yeah,
Um, so this is the,
I've played with this.
and this is like the same idea. Could I, what's this? Oh,
Does it do bobbles though?
so this one, and that's what I was gonna say. Like it has, it looks like
Because
they
I've
have the
painted a
huge
few.
port. Huge. It looks like they have the Hue Forge pretty well integrated into this now.
Yes.
Um, so good news for everybody that bought that. But I didn't see. So if we go back to the Maker Lab, I didn't see any of the bauble ones. No, I swear it was with their Christmas decorator one, but
Well, maybe.
there's the ornament maker, and it's just a flat circle. So maybe I was dreaming. Like they definitely have the lithophane. The sculpture one is close. Oh, and then they did the light boxes, which are,
Oh, those are cool.
these ones are fairly close to what the baubles are.
Well, the baubles are just baubles, though.
That's just it. They're just a ball.
Yeah.
And this one has a little bit of substance. So like this is all available on, let's just pick this one. This is all available on MakerLab here. So
I'm gonna have to play with that. Those look pretty cool.
they've added a whole lot of them, that's for sure. It used to just be like you can make flat lithophane, and then it was you can make flat lithophane, but you can also have your lithophane with a box. Whoa. And then
Yeah.
such. Man, I disappear when I lean backwards. Don't lean backwards. Also, if it bounces off my eyes right, I have a hole in my head. Because my eyes are green and it's a green screen. I don't know what's going on this morning. Sometimes the green screen gods hate me. I got most of the printing apps still live USB.
It'll be faster
Nice.
once you go off of a hard drive, Dominic.
He's getting there.
Yeah.
He's getting there. That's exciting though.
At least he found one he likes.
Ubuntu. It's not a shock either. It's like if you want the most mature, user-friendly Linux, Ubuntu.
I think he said he's using Mint, didn't he?
He's running Ubuntu right now.
Ubuntu. Okay, because he was trying Mint. He said Mint was pretty fast.
Mint is snappy. It's funny that they still call it like an experimental offshoot of Ubuntu.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever. It's only been 20 years now, so still experimenting. So there's something that we've been talking about a lot on the show over the last like probably 2 years. And then I complained about it 4 years ago. When Bambu Lab first came out, you had to have a Bambu Lab account. We all knew this.
You still kind of do.
You should. And again, the rationale is you're buying not only a printer, an ecosystem. We've talked a little bit about other printers, how they can keep their foot in an ecosystem, but they're designed to work 100% out of the ecosystem too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So like that would be like our Creality K2, K1, Elegoo's, the one Dominic has, Cutie, whatever, how you say that.
Cheating, I think.
So like we have those kinds of printers, and one of the struggles that has always kind of existed at least so we talk about the two kind of people that 3D print as well, like the tinkerers and then the people that just want their stuff to work.
Mhm.
And Bambu Labs, um, Bambu Labs is really good at making stuff that works. They have their app, they have their ecosystem. You sign in, works great. Some,
Everything's just super slick.
yeah, but some
Kind
people,
of like Apple.
a little bit like Apple, but some people have a little bit of a problem with that because one, either they want to tinker,
Mhm.
which you're almost better not. Don't buy a Bambu Lab if that's your goal. But they also want to use it without the accounts, without having to like be connected to the Bambu Lab cloud. And to be very clear, for some things you do have to be connected to the Bambu Lab cloud.
Mhm.
I when you first start up the printer, it will not boot past the welcome screen until you join it to your cloud account.
Yeah, you have to choose North America. I think there's on the new one, I think there's a way to
Well, there's
uh
offline mode.
offline mode right out of the
However,
box,
you
but
you can't do it out of the box. I know that because I just did one. I tried to skip it and skip it, but I might have had old firmware to start. Anyway, Bambu Lab generally account. That's what we're getting after here. And there's been some advances. About 2 years ago, Bambu Lab came out with what Greg just said, the offline mode. They
Mhm.
rolled it out to their X series first, and then they brought it down to the A series and then the P1S or the P
And where
series.
what wasn't that around the time that people were making their open source firmware for it as well? And that's what this kind of kicked this off a bit because they tried
Mm,
to lock it down.
I mean, there was that period as well. Well, I think it's always been in the back of people's minds, even beyond the firmware part of it, that I want to be able to use my printer without it connected to the internet.
100%, because you should be able to.
Um, and like you could, there's a really crappy way to use it. Um, Bambu Labs have like the little micro SD cards that you're gonna lose along the way in SneakerNet. They also have like on the P1 series. I don't know about the X series. You'd have to answer the X series, but the cards are not hot swappable on the P series, which means you'd
I've
have to
never
have it
tried,
off.
honest.
So I mean, you just pop it out. If it still works, you're good.
Well, I just updated to the latest firmware too, and they changed the look of it a bit. So maybe they see what happens.
So it's by design on the P1 because there's not a lot of memory on the controller. So lots of the stuff saves to that SD card.
It didn't freak out when I popped it out, but I'm not also at the same time. So
And so the ecosystem is married to that idea. I hit slice in my slicer or I hit print in my app. That job goes to the cloud. The cloud renders the job or slices it, whatever it has to do. And then it sends it back to your printer. And then you'll see your printer say buffering or downloading, depending on which screen you're watching. And then it starts printing. Um, and unless you have, like, for some reason, the A series and then the X series, they have like kind of detection stuff offline. But the P series relies on, again, the cloud to do that. Now, Bambu Lab did give users the ability to go offline. You can go into the Bambu Lab, you go offline. You can still have it hooked to the network, and then what happens is in offline mode, you can bind it to one instance on a computer of
right,
Bamboo, right? So like that becomes your one way, which almost is like almost makes it open, but it still doesn't because you have that uh like for example on a K2, if you're offline, I can watch the camera, I can stop render print jobs from anywhere. But Bambu Lab becomes very like Oop, again, whereas just using that computer almost as its cloud. So it's not, it's a little clunky still. And so then Greg found this thing, and I don't know, I'll switch to your screen capture. You could
Sure.
show it and talk a bit about it. Oh, why is that mine? Don't look at the show notes and spoil it. Just there you go.
So this is the actual site on GitHub. So uh, BamBuddy. So it's a self-hosted print archive management system for Bambu Labs 3D printers. So it gives you full privacy and full control. So they want you to be able to host your own cloud. Now I don't know enough about it yet to know for sure, but they have, like, you can see it's very, they got lots of different um ability to print and see devices and whatnot on this software. um so some of the highlights, print archive, real-time monitoring, 3D visualization,
Ooh.
multi-platform, blah blah blah. And right now, these are the printers it supports: the A1 series, the P2 series, P1, X1, and H2. So they at least support a lot of the stuff, and then they show you all the other stuff. It apparently has some APIs built in, so you can. So they did make it expandable to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go on to features here.
Yes.
So yeah, so there we go. So automatic 3MF archiving, duplicate deletion. So they have a lot of the check boxes, so to speak. No that you would want in
Boo.
software. um so apparently there's even Bamboo Cloud Sync if you wanted it. It's optional to turn on in the workflow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's kind of neat. Looks kind of cool. You've got all your printers and
So I guess the
yeah,
one thing to think about in there too, though, is in all those screenshots, you did not see the app. That's something you're walking away from. I assume this is a product for, like, it looks like a web app GUI thing, but like the slicing and stuff, it looks like it's everything is in here. So
yeah.
you're
You
you're
might
definitely
you might
walking
be able
away.
to get to it over maybe an IP address over your phone or something, but
Mm-hmm.
it won't have near the kind of at at, at this stage anyway, near the kind of deep integration like the Bambu Lab Handy app has with
Mm-hmm.
their services. So,
And,
but
and like something like that's very cool. I'll give it to them. It's very cool. Um, and I can see where it'd be useful because you see, like, there's people that own print farms, right? That have
mhm,
like 30 of these lined up, and that would be a good way for them to use it offline now and manage,
mhm.
like, send the jobs and stuff like that. Um, but again,
Yeah,
it's it's kind of like the way we talk about iPads in education, right? It's like the iPads were never meant for anything but personal use, and then we're shoehorning them into something that they don't want to do.
no,
And
they don't want
and
to do
that's
easily at
and
all.
that's kind of the Bambu Lab thing too, right? They're really good at personal use. They're designed to be personal machines, like one to one. You can print from your app, you bind it to the app. So technically only one person, one account uses that printer, right? So like they're really good at that. But I do applaud projects like what was it called? BamBuddy.
Yeah.
Dominic uses an app and I have it too called Octo app on the
Hmm.
iPhone, and it can also find and manage Bambu Lab printers now. So once you turn on offline mode, it can connect to it and manage everything about it. Um, I think the how do you say? again, like I think that farming factor for people that run like those kind of things, that's
And
gonna be
out of the
huge.
box, it does not give you remote access either. Like it's designed for local.
Yeah,
Like their requirements are Python, a bamboo printer, and a network, same local network, and then they give you the ports that they use, but that's about it. And it's all on your local segment of your network.
yeah.
So
And again, so that helps you keep it offline. So like if you're thinking, and we do, I mentioned that we did look at it. Bambu Lab does chatter the things outside the country, even when you pick North America. Um, you might have political reasons, why not to use certain geolocations now too. And we can confirm that when you have those selections on like a Creality brand, it's only talking to DNS and some Amazon Web Service stuff. So
yeah,
take
a little
that how
different.
you, yeah, take that how you want it. But some people strive for the offline. So,
Yeah. And
what?
anyway, I thought it was interesting, so I threw it in the show notes and whatnot because
Yeah,
we've in the past we've talked about like what was it, Astroprint was one,
yeah.
and then there's been a
Octo
few others.
Farm.
What was the cloud print or 3D cloud or something like that,
Oh
or
yeah,
Cloud OS or something
Cloud.
way back in the day.
There's a
Um,
Raspberry Pi OS one. I was
so
actually
we
looking at one of the old links that we had from back in the show notes, and like it's dead. So that Octo Farm one, it's not where it used to be anyway. Put it
yeah,
that way.
maybe they were shut down or something. Who knows? Like, or they renamed their project. Maybe it's now called something. Sometimes that happens too, right?
Yeah, like he just moved it. It looks like it's still around. It's just not under the not yet expected one anymore. It's just under Octo Farm's GitHub, but
Yeah.
Bambu Lab, I tell you, we're never going to hear about Bambu Lab again this morning. Just
How
kidding.
is something burning there? What?
Yeah, do you feel fire again? Because Bambu Lab sure does. So they're at it again.
What have
There
they
are
done, David? What have they done?
the A1. So the A1 power distribution brick. I think I might have a picture of it here. Yeah, I do. One sec. The A1 distribution brick. You get spicy, and then that happens.
Ooh, ouch.
So this is on original A1s. Um, that so like if you
And,
don't know the sordid past of the
and
A1,
that's a 24-volt too.
yeah. So like the A1 Mini caught fire because of the cable that well didn't I don't know if it actually caught fire. It had a
It has
recall.
strain
Be,
relief
yeah,
recall, right?
because that little the cable that hooks the heat bed to the power supply looped funny, and then it could the wear the wear and tear while it was moving could short it and it would catch fire. So this one is on the A1 though, and this is on the original one, and yeah, you can see it definitely flashed like it didn't like small heat up, it flashed the board, right? You
Yeah,
can see
so
some pretty good.
something really fried there good.
And so um there is at it again, and I don't know like so and
That looks that
this is a
almost looks
daughter
like
board underneath, right? Of
isn't
the
that
power
the
supply.
AC side too?
Yeah.
If you look at the way it's connected and
Well like let's see, this is live neutral, and
because
then that's
blue blue
this.
brown is live and neutral, and then there's ground. So that's the
That's the AC side too.
yeah,
So that's the side you don't want catching
right,
fire.
yeah.
Um and so like I don't know um they so like yeah, if you can see the article 3D Musketeers kind of found out. Um Bambu Lab was like, it's no big deal, yo. just forget about it. And then they said it's fixed in the new ones. And I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
But what
So
about the
what
old
about
ones?
all the old ones?
Right? And like the 3D printing community, we like to sacrifice people who do silly things. For
Hey,
example, the
I had a
ANET
printer that used to
A8.
burn up.
Yeah, it was the ANET A8.
Looking at
Um,
A8. Yep.
and so, um,
Well, go
like
up, back up to that printer, that picture.
the
Look down.
picture,
No, no, no. The little one, little video clip.
uh
Is
huh,
that melt? That's melted.
yes.
Ooh.
So, like, you all can read. So, I will tell you where this article is. It's on L3DP in their news section. But, like, I thought it was worth mentioning. I saw this and I was like, um, come on, again. So, I wanted to keep this in the forefront of your brain. Like, um, lots of people hold Bambu Lab on this pedestal,
But
and,
you know,
and
it's one of those things, David. Like it's
it
not just Bamboo
happens.
Labs, right?
No,
Right.
I'm just saying
Um.
they're just like the rest of us. They make
Yeah.
mistakes,
Yeah.
and
Samsung had their melting phones, right?
no, they
Um.
blew up. They didn't melt.
Okay. Well. Okay. Blew
But
up,
what I'm saying
and then
is putting a company on a pedestal, just because it's a company doesn't make a lot of sense.
no.
And the other thing is when so like when people like Greg and I who have done thousands, tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of hours on multiple printers, not just counting one, right? And then you guys too, right? Dominic and Raymond and Gary and all the guy, all you guys, like you have thousands, tens of thousands of experience hours. So when you say
Mhm.
something, right, like oh these aren't safe in this environment, right? We hope to be respected, but um, sometimes it doesn't happen. But look, when you say no, no, this and this happens.
The fact
Woo-hoo.
that they're like, oh, don't worry, it's fixed on the new printers means they knew about it.
Yep, 100%.
And so that to me is a little bit excuse me. You
Yep,
didn't do a recall right away and you knew about it.
yeah.
That's not good.
And like you can see, like it got hot enough to melt
The
in that picture.
exterior.
Yeah, here I'm going back. I'm going back. It melted to the bottom of the exterior, but look, it's also melting the inside panels.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
something got like
this thing was close to catching fire if it did not smoke out a little bit.
yeah.
And
Where's the fuse in that thing? Like it should,
that could
if
be
it's
what's
getting
missing.
that if it's getting that, maybe that's what exploded finally.
Yeah, I mean, Bam, I don't know if we can get a good A1 power distribution board. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of that. Nope, not that. Or maybe. Anyway, the it it's just it's funny because we went from like, oh no, the A1 minis are catching fire to just kidding. All these A1s that are out there are also catching fire.
Yeah.
But again, it's not like people are doing this on purpose. It's not like they maliciously set out to make a fire trap, but sometimes engineering these things is an art.
Well, and clearly they've invested a lot of money and time into their printers. So like you
Mhm.
can see the quality on them.
Yep.
Now, did someone substitute one little part like we've had, for example, in Big Tree Tech, the was the V2 boards of
Mm-hmm.
SKR. Someone swapped a part because it was cheaper and they
Yep.
didn't realize the specs on the part, and it caused the board to be non-functional properly and could burn up. and you had to literally take out the one piece, and then it was fine.
Yeah.
But it's one of those scary things where a penny pincher can wreck your engineering, because the
And oh,
engineer could have
yeah.
spec'd it correctly, right?
Yeah.
He could have really been, diligent about, yeah, this will do it. And then someone said, oh, this part does the same thing, and it's almost the same part number. We'll swap this one in because I could save 10 cents.
Yeah, you're not wrong, right? Like it's like 10 cent or 10 cents over like millions of units or tens of thousands of units, or that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But when you say 10 cents on one thing, it's like me. So
Like, really,
there was a
his safety is worth more
capacitor.
than 10 cents.
Yeah, there was three capacitors where that big black mark used to be.
Oh, is that what was there?
Yeah,
Nice.
I found the board. It's actually on their support page,
You
Bambu
should
Lab.
put it up on screen so everyone can see.
Okay, here we go. Please don't hate us forever, Bambu Lab. Or do. I don't care.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So pop pop bang 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 bang.
Now, I wonder if this is the new version and the versus the old version.
I have no idea. This one just says genuine. So like that's like if it's the old version, because there's a bunch of and you can see the wiring on them's pretty creative on some of them. So like there's this one that I was like, oh look how pretty. Because it comes in and around, right? Aww. But then other ones are just like YOLO froyo, and it goes right over the top.
Yeah.
Doesn't even use cable management. And then here's another problem, like this one that's over the top. They've bent the little island in an angle.
Yeah.
So like bends in cables and eyelets cause heat, and heat cause fire.
Yeah.
Um so like I don't know, like you'd have to open yours up to see how yours was run, because I don't know, like is that nice one the one from factory and the other one something people
Right?
did?
We don't know.
Also, if your printer's in warranty, don't open it.
No, don't open it.
They
Wrong.
will. Bambu Lab is really, 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 really particular on who opens it to work on it.
Mhm.
So not like other brands like Reality or whatever. You just fire that thing open and rip the guts out and be like, "I found the problem." They're like,
Okay, we'll
"Sweet."
send you a new one.
um, Roto Forge, Greg. Roto Forge.
Yeah. So, um, this one was kind of interesting because I'm like a rocket nerd. I watch all the stuff on rocket engines and building rockets and stuff. And there's a process called friction stirred welding. And what it is you can like take two pieces of aluminum, overlap them, or butt them up. You can butt them up against each other. And then what you do is you put force down and then you turn. And all
Yeah,
you do, you basically, all you're doing is you're doing putting friction and heat into that one spot, and then you slowly move along the seam, and you can go back and forth. And what
yeah.
it does is it basically liquefies it, but it doesn't make it molten,
Hold on, I gotta show the people.
and it welds it together. So this is kind of what it looks like once it's been stirred. And so this company, or this open source project, what they've done, and there's a video if you want to check it out. They've adapt here. Let me find a picture of the ender. They've adapted an ender, uh, and they've put this motor with this blade on it, and this is your stirring blade. Um, and you can see they're actually spinning on top of this. So they're not taking material off, but what they're doing is they're getting it warm enough to kind of adhere the two layers together. So this is still just early days, but I mean they've got you can see that there's no layer. like you can see the layers on the side here, but they're very stuck together here. Like when they did a sectional cut, like you can see the individual thin layers that they've melted together.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
it's kind of
mean,
neat.
I
I
always
think
wanted a blob.
it's it's early days, but I thought this was kind of neat that someone's trying to,
Mm-hmm.
innovate, right? And do something new. And so innovation isn't dead yet. So that's cool. I just thought it was neat because this is another way of making metal parts, uh potentially.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it's got a little bit of refinement to go on it. And even with some of the friction stirred welding stuff,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you do still have to do some post processing. So there could be some CNC involved to, like, trim off some excess or whatever from the stirring process so that you can get your final part. But yeah, it's kind of neat.
It's a cool place that, like, I don't know if there's a future in it, but it's a cool thing to see people trying. Um, I mean, the belt printer wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that, you know,
Right.
the community and that kind of stuff. So, um, it it's definitely neat. I don't know, like at a home level, what the use case would be. Like you said, if you're in the manufacturing, it would be more useful.
Hmm.
For sure. It's
But
very,
it's one of we didn't this avoids the, like, currently we have metal printing. You and I got to see how the process works at up in Calgary, which was kind of interesting.
yeah,
Um, but that process had many more steps, right?
yeah,
You had to you extruded your model,
yeah,
then you
and
took it, then you had to, like, dissolve away the medium that held the material together once, and then you did that multiple times until you had it to the point where you just had the metal.
yeah,
And then you
and
had to sinter it, right, for
mm,
multiple hours in a special kiln, right?
yeah,
So 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 that is a lot more processes than this, right? This is just basically one, you put your layers down and then you fuse them together, kind of thing. So it's
hmm,
it'll be interesting if they can. And this is like they're going around and round, with a wheel. The other friction stirring that I've seen uses more pressure, and it just has a small kind of head, or, well, small or medium sized head that pushes down and turns um, horizontally, not vertically, like this one does. So
yeah.
it's not the only. There's not only one way to do friction stirring. So.
No, and Dominic's right here. It's kind of welding without electricity.
Hmm.
Uh, it
Yeah.
is, except you're using a lot to spin the wheel.
Well, yeah, and you're not using a filler rod or filler wire or anything like that. It's literally you're binding the metal to metal,
Yeah. So there's
like itself to itself.
no intermediary, like you say.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
an endish product.
Yeah. So
Um,
it was just something that popped up, and
yeah,
I like seeing, you know, um, innovation like that where I mean, like you said, will this ever come to our own desktop? Well, we I don't think, 15 years ago, I don't know if we ever thought that we'd all have, or potentially a lot of people would have laser cutters on their desktop, right? Yeah, at home, right?
right. Yeah.
um so who know, in 15 years, who knows,
I
you know
mean, there's always a chance that the AI overlord will smile on us and bring us metal friction based printing.
yes,
Just
yes.
kidding. They don't care about us.
Yeah. But
So
I wonder what the legal ramifications would be for
this dumb bad segue. Boo! Boo! Okay. So
that.
this happened. So there, I think we talked about it before, but we live in Canada, to be specific, Canada, and in Canada there is regulations already set forth that says you cannot 3D print firearms or firearm paraphernalia.
Right.
Okay. So, uh, take that with a grain of salt because here we go. Um, so apparently, in a place that's not Canada, that's much worse than Canada, but it's not Canada. There's a discussion going on about 3D printing, especially when it comes to like weapons and paraphernalia for those weapons. So um, you gotta be really careful how you discuss it because we are in Canada and we have to follow that rule. But um, the case that I'm specifically thinking about for us was around 2020 to 2023. We had our federal police force actually investigating kind of a person that was 3D printing gun parts. And
Which is so silly. Like there's go to a machine shop and actually make it out of metal or something.
but no. So there's two things here, right? There is where you're completely making a pew pew and it might fire.
I guess you can make
But it would
accessories.
fire once. Right. But like so like in Canada, not like other countries though, that we won't. In Canada, like literally you can own very specific things when it comes, but like in other places people like to modify those things with rails and systems like that so they can print the accessories and attachments. There was the case too of completely 3D printing some of the mechanisms that go into it where you're using hardened parts where it would matter. Now, so in Canada, it's actually a really easy thing. It's illegal.
Yep.
You cannot do that. Now, um, where the story takes a twist, I guess, is in this other place that we won't talk about.
South of us, I
No,
think.
we're not talking about it. Um, there, there's this other place that's just catching up to these laws. Believe it or not, they're a little behind when it comes to thinking, um, you know, outside, inside, or anywhere near a box. Um, but their point is they agree with the illegalness, right? You shouldn't do it. So like, um, but they're having a hard time on how to do it. And the approach is interesting. And this is why we're going to talk about a little bit of AI stuff too. They want to make it so that slicers will not even slice the file.
And this is kind of reminds me of drones. And the
Why?
reason I say that is because there's certain places that drones, due to their firmware and whatnot, will not fly because they're GPS locked, for example, so that they cannot fly in those areas because there is a restriction on that, and that's from the manufacturer of the drone in accordance with regulation. So
Yeah, so like the drones that we own, though, all you have to do is click OK and they fly still.
correct.
But
Yes, but the commercial ones are very locked out. Kind of
it's
thing.
true. But when we look at like, so I'm on two sides of this. Um, my first side is it's sad that you have to say this out loud, that people are, I don't know, self-serving enough. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for. But it's sad that it's sad that it has to be said out loud when there's clearly legal institution behind it, behind all of it. But technologically now on the other side of that coin is kind of neat. And but again, it's also kind of there's two sides to that, right? So like if I said, "Hey Greg, great news. We're going to make a slicer. Let's call it Porca slicer." Um, and this slicer is going to be used for 3D printing in our country. The only one allowed in our country, right? And it has an app and it replaces all the other ones. But the slicer doesn't print weapons and weapon parts or that kind of stuff. Sounds
Yeah.
great, right?
Yeah, it sounds to me like in order to do that, you'd have to have an online database or something for the slicer to go online to validate whether it's printing what it thinks it's printing. And
Right.
how would you do that? Because it's just polygons and this and that. And how do
Well, and
you,
that's where AI would have to come into
right?
play to look, because there's no way a
A
human
toy?
could do that.
What about like an elastic gun, for
Well, and
example?
that's
Right?
the thing.
Which
Like,
isn't illegal. It's not a firearm.
where's the line? There's toothpick crossbows, right? Like,
Airsoft.
well, airsoft is stupid, and I'll get maybe one day get into that. But like the they're not illegal those, and you. But again, the overarching thing here is there's somebody telling you what you can't do, and um,
Changes open source at that point.
it does. And I think there's other questions behind it, like is 3D printing and modeling and making like even making in general is that a freedom of expression thing?
And
Maybe.
and
I don't know.
anything can be taken and weaponized. Your vehicle could be
Yeah,
weaponized,
but we're
right?
not
Like
talking about
it's
that. We're
no,
talking
but I'm just saying,
specifically,
like,
like this is
yeah,
specific to pew pew. Like that's
yeah, no,
literally
that's true.
they're not like there's uh like the specific lawmakers are in directly south of us thinking of this. And the the ramifications aren't quite, I guess, clear as to why. But like the problematic thing, I'm just gonna find the exact one sec state. Manhattan, Washington State. Okay, so there's a couple. Um, so then it becomes like there's this onus on. It was just a couple states, right? And like I said, it's legal in Canada, but but again, like the legal system in Canada doesn't work on restricting some of those things, right? Like they exist in the wild, you're just not allowed to do them, right? So like a good and lesser example of that is like drinking and driving, right? It's illegal, completely illegal, and if you do it, you're the person that's doing it, right?
And if you get
So
caught, then you're arrested. That's the thing. It's about being caught at that point.
so like and this is a hard discussion right now. Like being a good upstanding member of a society is part of being in a civilized society, right? So like you're all it, there's a lot of interesting philosophy that goes into it, but like in theory, if you're in a society and a citizen, you're kind of like in this core group that
Mhm.
wants to make intrinsically better choices for everybody, right? I think,
So, so, so Ray said printing ghost guns is a problem. Lately, thousands of firearm files are out there. I don't know how they can stop all those from slicing and printing.
well,
And then Dominic says, "What about copyright infringement?" I mean, that's the other thing, right? If you're,
if
I'm
you're
sure those
printing,
guns
if you're
are
printing a,
the gun pieces that you're maybe modifying are
listen,
copyrighted
watch this
and
video
trademarked and
quickly,
everything.
everybody, because it's going to get struck and deleted. Because Greg keeps saying the word gun over and over and over. You can't say gun.
Okay.
It's fine. It's because it's marked family friendly.
Well,
So anyway,
true.
watch it quick. Watch it quick. The thing, yeah, there's copyright, but I think the big thing is like Ray says, the the problem exists not in the copyright; it's in the thing that is is deadlier than the copyright. But like,
Mm.
it's easy to make a slicer do that. It really is. But how do you make all slicers do that?
Well, and then what if you're printing something that has a similar shape or structure that isn't related to that?
Right. So then you
And
need a
then
reporting
will it break it?
system. Yeah. Yeah. Like you're right. 100%. Right. Oh, well, like you said, it's an elastic toy gun. Did you have to like um send it up the thing? Um Send it up the pipe? Is there a report feature in your slicer? Right?
Mhm.
I want to print this toothpick pew pew. Uh, this is cool. Don't worry about it. Or there is, like you said, airsoft. There is 3D prints for airsoft. There's 3D prints for Nerf, right? There's
I don't think anyone should be printing that stuff. It's the actual ghost stuff and everything. I think that's bad. but that's, again, that's just my opinion, and my opinion is only my opinion.
well, and there's other problems behind it. It's just interesting that um like again, we come from a place where it's just straight up illegal.
Mhm.
But they're trying to tackle blocking in the slicer. So like making it illegal, I guess, is the first step. But what's the next step? Like good example is TikTok, right? As a software, not as a poo poo platform,
Oh, it's
but
American now, David.
sure it is. Um, but like when TikTok was going down the down, there was censorship and there was control, right? If we don't control this, you can't have it. And then, that's where that we all know how that ended up.
Mhm.
So I think it's interesting. Like you say, it's like you shouldn't straight up print ghost ones.
Mhm.
Ray made that great point. But there's also things that you can add to them that make them very illegal too, in other places, right? I watched a TikTok video where they move the hand the grip from the side to the bottom, and once it goes legal, illegal, legal, illegal, right? Like there's nuances there um that can be very bent and broken. But
um Dominic made a point. He said they can make it illegal to use a slicer that doesn't upload to the government database before you print. I'm like, big brother.
well, the thing we say that, but 1984 is a real thing right now.
Yeah.
Um, and we see scaling up of like that kind of stuff too, right? Like, um, and again, is there a problem with it? No one is done tactfully, especially when in the slicer, specifically. It's just how, right? Who is the driving force and the owner of that? Because
Hmm.
it sure isn't going to be like some lawyer, sit downtown here that's like, oh yeah, we're going to make this slicer for people. So like, you'd have to go out to tender, and then you end up with a Rive can. Man, I'd love a Rive can. Wish, wish we were on that one. Um,
Yeah,
so
it's a slippery slope. We'll see. We'll keep monitoring this, see if anything kind of comes up in the future on this, because it's definitely something that will continue to go through. I don't know if there's any quick answer, because I think
I,
they're going to
yeah,
make the wrong choices and then realize it and have to change
listen,
it.
I'm glad we're not the ones deciding about it. We're
Oh,
just talking about it.
yeah.
I feel too um like slicers and 3D printing sites, and there is actually strong example of this in social media already. So like if you have a TikTok or an Instagram or a Facebook video short and you upload a video, if it detects it's AI, it labels that video. Right. So I don't know if the slicer is the place to catch it, more of out in the wild. Now, obviously, some of these files and models don't come from the top of the web, they come from the underbelly of the web where there's less control.
Mhm. Well,
But
and you can't stop people from, you know, searching, like, without turning off the internet completely for people. You can't stop them from going to places they're probably are a little sketchy for them to go. So I don't know,
even if you turn the internet off, they would find a way.
right?
Dominic says when printers are outlawed, dot dot dot. They actually talked about that a year ago. There was rumblings to just ban 3D printers because of this problem. They're like, well, if this is how they're doing it, we're gonna ban them. I heard also a license, like you'd have to
You needed a
register.
license
Yeah,
to
that was so like you'd buy a 3D printer, bring it home, dear Mister whoever, and they do that in Great Britain with the TVs, right? If you own a TV in
Do they still
Britain,
do that there?
yep, there's TV tax. How they fund the BBC. So like it's not unheard of to do that, but I'd be really sad.
Mhm.
Like every single printer. But I mean, interesting times with 3D printing. Like you said, we'll
For
keep an eye
sure.
on it, and we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah.
If you and if you guys hear anything about it, pop it in the Discord. It would be very interesting to see this one through to the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
But speaking of ends,
I think we're at the end
this is the end, my friend. Do do do.
for now. Do,
Yeah,
do,
and then
do.
till next week. Um, But yeah, we'll catch up with y'all in about a week. But before we go, remember you can find all of our information on www.3dmaker.ca. And then if you wanted to, you can follow along on Patreon or YouTube /3dmakeit. And that's where all of our things are. If you want to keep the conversations going, that's what the Discord's for. So check out the Patreon link.
Yeah.
Other than that, have a good one. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Stop video. Bye.